Welcome to another segment of the Jermaine Brown Political Talk Show. Today is Saturday, June 11th, 2016. I want to congratulate Hillary Clinton on being the first woman to win the nomination of a major party. Now, her matchup is going to be against Donald Trump. Okay. Now, technically, nothing is official until the conventions roll around, which roll around next month in July. But these are going to be most likely the two nominees. Now, I'm not going to focus. Before I get to the Republicans, let me start with the Democrats. Because everybody wants to make it look like, well, this was going to go to the convention. Bernie was going to take this to the convention. You know, no, it wasn't going to happen that way for this one reason. The President of the United States, who is Barack Obama, didn't have the luxury of waiting until the convention to make their nominee official, because he needed to get on the campaign trail immediately to basically take advantage of the hits that Donald Trump is taking. Because remember, now see, again, I'm not a believer in polls in May and June or March, anywhere from January to June. I'm not a believer in polls. Matter of fact, I'm not really a believer in polls until after the convention. After the conventions, which is in July, that's when you start getting into August and September, that's to me when polls actually start to matter on the presidential level. But because Trump was struggling because of some comments that he made, where he attacked Judge Gonzalo Curiel, who is the judge who's presiding over the case there with Trump University, by bringing up his Mexican heritage. The president had to get on the campaign trail ASAP. He didn't have the luxury of waiting another week until Washington, D.C. voted, or he didn't have the luxury of waiting until, the convention. He had to move now. Now, that was a dumb move by Donald Trump, was to question this judge's heritage. First of all, he shouldn't have been talking about Trump University to begin with. He should be focusing on the issues that matters to the lives of Americans. And Trump University, at the end of the day, most Americans, look, it is what it is. But you see, here's the problem. Trump is so sensitive to any criticism about his business or his business practices or anything that he does, that he can't seem to stay on message. Okay? Because truthfully, there were some openings that he could have hit Hillary over. Okay? But instead, he rather talk about his business and business practice than talk about the opponent, which is Hillary Clinton. So Trump, it's like it's almost like if he's trying to lose. Now, Trump don't like losing. Let's make no mistake about it. Trump doesn't like losing. But the things he do sometimes make you like scratch your head like, do you know what you're doing, Trump? So anyway, once Hillary wrapped up the nomination on June 7th, which was this past Tuesday, well, she actually wrapped it up a day before, but officially they just went on and waited until June 7th, which was the next day. It became clear who the two nominees was going to be. Obama was chomping at the bit. Okay, that's why he told Bernie Sanders on Sunday, this past Sunday, that he was going to endorse Hillary on Tuesday. But Sanders asked him could he hold off until they meet on Thursday, because he requested a meeting with President Obama on Thursday. So Obama, politely gave him that request. And it was a smart move by Obama. But they wanted to basically get on the attack on Donald Trump, because why? Trump is right now, he's taking what they call enemy fire. And he's not handling these controversies well. Okay? But the bigger problem is not Trump. The bigger problem is the Republican Party, because they don't know what to do with this guy. It is clear that the party do not want him as their nominee. It is clear. Mitch McConnell, Paul Ryan, all the bigwigs of the party, they don't really want Trump as their nominee. But they don't want, see, and this is what I've been saying before, when people were suggesting that the Democrats give the nomination to Bernie Sanders. No party wants to give the nomination to someone who didn't earn the voters' vote or who didn't get the votes from the voters. In other words, Trump got the majority of the delegates from voters, just like Hillary Clinton did. Because anytime you wanted it, and now both parties have the right to legally take it away from them, the nomination. They don't technically have to give them the nomination. Okay? If they have their reasons, they can take it away. But usually that's the death of a party the minute you do that. Because what you're telling the voters is you can override their will. And that's not a good way to get voters to stay on your side. So therefore, no party really wants to do that. So now they're stuck in how do they keep Trump from basically destroying the party. I'm going to be honest with you, fellas. I think you're too late to that. Because if you had stopped him years ago, when he came with those birther movement there with Obama, you could have avoided what is taking place today. Your party has been taken over by racists. How do we know this? Forget Trump for a second. Let's put him to the side. There is a GOP senator, a Republican senator from Georgia. His name is David Perdue. He was speaking at the religious freedom event there in Washington, D.C. or Virginia. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, and he mentioned about a joke about praying for Obama, and he used a specific scripture from Psalms basically saying, let his days be few. And if you read that scriptures and the following passages carefully, it's talking about taking out someone or killing someone, eliminating the head. So basically, this guy was basically advocating the death of President Obama. Now, he could sit there and say, no, that's not what I meant. I was just talking about his presidency and stuff. Stop it, folks. Obama will officially leave office in January and not a day before. So praying for that man to his presidency be short is just dumb. It makes no sense. So we know what you was really talking about. But you did it under the guise of a joke. But you really wasn't joking. You was talking about having this man killed, executed. This shows you the problem of the Republican Party. Now, the question is Mitch McConnell and Paul Ryan and these boys going to come out and say something about that? Because if Trump had said that, they would be raising holy hell. But because another GOP senator is saying this, they're strangely quiet. So then now, wait a minute. If that is the case, and I'm not no defender of Trump, but on this, you know what? If I'm Trump, I'm like, what the hell? You're going to get on me for talking about banning Mexicans and Muslims, and you're going to get on me by bringing up the judge's heritage, but yet you're going to let this senator slide for basically wishing for the death of a president? Even Trump didn't go there. But yet Mitch McConnell and these boys are strangely silent. Yet Trump never wished or said we should pray for the death or wish for the death of someone. Trump never has went there. I mean, listen, Trump has a lot of flaws. Okay? He is the worst presidential candidate I have ever seen. And I've been following politics for decades. Matter of fact, I'll put it to you this way, including vice presidents, because I got to bring Sarah Palin into this. He might be the worst candidate running for an office I have ever seen. And that's saying something, because I've seen some bad candidates. But this guy, I mean, really. But the fact that he won the Republican primaries and easily won it, tells me there is a problem in this party. So here's what I would have done. Here's what I would have done. I would have taken this nomination from Trump and let him know, you will not be the nominee. Okay? Does it mean the death of the party? Yes. But sometimes that's necessary. Get these racists out of your party because they're killing it. They are literally killing it. You cannot. I want to show you something here, folks. And again, I'm not a believer in polls before the convention. But there's some dangerous signs if you're the Republican Party, some alarming signs. Because usually the Republican Party, they usually wrap up their nomination before the Democrats because usually their nominee, they usually win their nomination by, say, Super Tuesday, which is back like in February or March or whatever. Usually by March, you know who the Republican nominee is going to be. While the Democrats usually fight to the last day because of their strange rules. But that's another story for another day. But here's the thing. So Trump pretty much won the nomination last month. He had basically a 5-week head start. And usually when you win your nomination, you get what is called a bump in the polls. Because usually the party starts to coalesce around the nominee. And people then start feeling better about the nominee. So they will get a bump in the polls. And that was the same that is true for Trump. He got a bump in the polls. However, now, he had a 3-point lead in the polls about a month and a half, about 5 weeks ago. He had a 3-point lead against Hillary in the polls once he got the bump. But here's the problem now. And these polls, now I'm about to tell you, doesn't take into account the Democrats not wrapping up their nomination. Just because of their comments about Judge Curiel, bringing up about his heritage. Trump went from, in the Fox News, and I'm going to give you 3 polls that I don't even follow. I don't even like them because I don't even think they're accurate. Or they tend to favor Republicans. In other words, it's divorced a little bit from reality, in my opinion. But just check this out. In the Fox News poll, Clinton is right now up 39 to 36. I'm going to leave Gary Johnson out of there at 12 because he doesn't matter. He's not winning anyway. But 39 to 36. So he's up 3. She's up 3 based off those comments. So he went from up 3 to now he's down 3. That's a 6-point swing. Rasmussen, who I hate even more than the Fox News poll, because I give really no credence to Rasmussen. Rasmussen have her up 4, 42 to 38. Reuters, have her up 8 points, 42 to 34. That's disturbing if you are the Republican Party, not because of the presidency. Listen, if it was just the presidency, they would have threw Trump overboard a long time ago. But what they're trying to do is save the down ticket. That's really what the Republican Party is trying to do. This is why they're going ahead, though they're not coming out and saying it. This is why they're giving Trump their endorsement. This is why they're tolerating his behavior. Because they're trying to save the down ticket. That's what this is really all about. But check this out. Okay? Clinton is, in the next polls, you're going to see a jump. Because Clinton is going to get a jump now that the Democrats are coalescing around her. So she's going to get at least a 5 to 7 point jump on, so that means, let's say she gets a 5-point jump. Well, the Fox News, she's right now up 3. That means she'll be up 8. Okay? The Rasmussen poll, she's up 4. That means with 5 points, that means she'll be up 9. Okay? The Reuters poll, she's up 8. That means she'll be up 13 points roughly by the time the next polls come out. Those are significant jumps. And that's going before you even get to the convention. Now, the convention is, you're supposed to, at the convention, you get a jump on that too. So both parties supposed to get a boost from coming out of their convention. But it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. Because, see, Trump is now talking about strategizing about going in states like New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, California, Florida. Well, let's put aside Florida because, okay, I can understand Florida. But New York, Pennsylvania, California, Jersey, 4 reliably strong Democratic states. Folks, he doesn't have a strategy. He's not trying to win. It is clear Trump is not trying to win. Because if Trump was trying to win, you would not be seeing this. This here is just so bad on so many levels that it's not even funny. And here's how you know things are really serious. The Koch brothers is refusing to fund money at the convention. Most, even Romney's donor list, they're refusing to hand over money. It's already being reported that he's already $200 million behind Hillary in raising money. You cannot compete on a national level without money, folks. You just can't do it. You can tell me about all the free TV or free news you want, free media attention you want. That's not going to cover it. You need to spend money because you got to campaign. You got to campaign, folks. This guy Trump is just, he at least has made this political season interesting. Because let's really be honest, if he wasn't in this political season, it would be really boring. A yarner. And no, folks, he really has no shot at winning the presidency. Remember something. The Republicans is going to start off with about 170 to 190 electoral college, maybe closer to 200 electoral college numbers. The Democrats is going to start off at about 240. So they're going to have a major advantage. You only need 270 to win the White House. So that means if it is true that the Democrats will be starting off at 240, all they got to win is 2 to 3 states. And depending on which state, just 2. And they got the White House. So there's a good chance. There is a good chance Hillary can go north of maybe 400. She can maybe hit the 400 mark. That would be something. Considering her negatives, that would be something. But it wouldn't be surprising because this, again, Trump is the worst candidate I have ever seen run for any political office. I mean, this guy is like, you got to question, like, what the hell is he doing? But he chose to go this route. And now the whole party is going to really suffer for it. The Republican Party is really going to suffer for this. But you know what? They deserve to suffer. Because, again, they could have stopped Trump a long time ago. And I don't want to hear from Mitt Romney. That's one of the biggest phonies I've ever seen. And again, I'm no defender of Trump. But 4 years ago, you sought his endorsement when you knew he was this way. You sought his endorsement when he was attacking Obama's birth. You sought his endorsement. Okay? Now all of a sudden you want to run from him like if he's the plague. Wait a minute, buddy. Stop. And I don't want to hear from Mitch McConnell. Oh, he needs to educate himself on the topics and needs to get on script. Stop it, Mitch. Mitch, you're showing yourself to be a phony, okay? Because I do recall, and if I was Trump, I would bring this out. You want to get on me about using racist terms and using, like, shock terms that shock people. But yet, wait a minute. On Obama's inauguration night, the man didn't even get a chance to sniff the White House lawn. You was already plotting to make him a one-term president, and you even admitted as much. You came out and said it. Our goal is to make this man a one-term president, which means you never planned on working with this man. Why? Because we all know it was because of the color of his skin. It's not because of his ideas. It was because of the color of his skin. And now you want to get on me about using some terms, about calling the judges, questioning the judge's ethnicity as far as the case ruling? Or we talk about hypocrisy here. If I'm Trump, I'm bringing this out. I'm really going to hit Mitch McConnell. No, you're in no position to question me. I want to thank you for watching another segment of the Jermaine Brown Political Talk Show. Have a nice day.